Mustard Knuckle.
Hello everybody, Mustard Knuckle back again. Panther F. Here we go. Panther F. This thing's all about the turret. The turret is what this is all about. They got sick of the frontal area, I guess, on the older ones. The mantlet, that big curved piece, trap shot that you can get on those older ones, where it kind of curves that, where it kind of, it'll push that round right into the top of the hull underneath the mantlet right there on the front of the turret. So you can hit the bottom of that and it'll angle that round right into the top of the hull and into the crew area, and that is problematic. So they want to get rid of that. They want to get rid of some of the frontal area from that whole mantlet design. And then I think some of the later designs, here we go. Seemed good. Come on. Too low. I'm too high, I'm too low. Who knows? So the design, they allowed, I guess they allowed the original designer of this turret, maybe an earlier turret, to try to make a new one even better. It had to be lighter, it had to be, well, that was sweet. It had to be lighter, it had to accommodate the cannon the same way. It also had to have an allowance for this rangefinder, this fancy rangefinder. And then they were going to have a new, that would have been cool, knock the building down and then get the kill. A new scope too. So this thing was going to have the ultimate rangefinder, the ultimate scope. It was going to be equipped or prepared for night vision. Well, not full-on night vision, but their version of it back then. So that was the idea with this turret. It was going to be lighter, accommodate the gun the same way, have the amazing rangefinder, have the amazing scope, working all that together, and then this thing was going to be, like, its final version was going to be amazing. Fortunately for the rest of us, or unfortunately for the Germans, there was not enough time left. Man, I was on a roll there for a minute. Could do no wrong. There we go. And come on. So, like I said, fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, there was not enough time left to really get this thing out. I think they made 2 prototypes. They didn't make very many hull or turret prototypes, and they just stuck them on the existing. Oh man, they just stuck them on the existing tank, and that was it. They got into trials and all that stuff, and the war was over. This is in like 45. Oh, it's just about to have a shot on that guy. Alright, so we're going to go fast, we're going to do a little pull up here, and then we're going to let these things go. Gotta get some speed up though. So that, I mean, that basically sums up the whole mantlet. The front of the turret on this thing looked completely different from the earlier versions, from the early versions. And, you know, that's exactly what they wanted it to do. They wanted it to look different. Oh, they allowed that company that built the original one to take a run at it, and when they did it, as it turns out, they couldn't come up with anything very good. So that was the end of that. So I can get on top of this thing. There we go. So what they came up with just wasn't quite good enough. So then I think they outsourced it to Daimler. And then, oh cool, there's my plane. They outsourced it to Daimler, and they're the ones that ended up building this turret for the rest of the time. Which, I mean, they did a good job apparently, because this thing was lighter and it had everything that it needed in order to make all that stuff work that they were talking about. Those little bulges on the side, apparently, from what I read, are where they would accommodate the rangefinder or the scope, one or the other. That's how they incorporated it in there, which isn't really very impressive right now, but when you think about the technology that was becoming available to the Germans, this is kind of game-changing stuff, you know. I mean, we're getting pretty serious here. If they can get a better, well, it's like we talked about before with the tools. You can have a great gun, which this thing has, but if you don't have the best tools for range finding and a scope for aiming and all that, if you don't have all the best stuff to go with it, you can't use it to its full potential. And that's where the threat was coming in with this new turret. This turret was going to be much, much better than the old one, and it was going to have the availability of the allowance for that rangefinder and that scope to really finish the job and make this thing, I mean, even a bigger threat than it was already. Oh, I thought I had that guy. I don't even know how I missed him, honestly. Alright, let's see here. Well, that's kind of weird. I was kind of confused what world I was in there for a minute. Alright, oh, there goes that guy diving down to drop his bombs. I wonder if he'll get any kills. I'll try to pay attention. See if he gets anybody like that. Maybe, if he can be sneaky enough. It's a cool plane. It's kind of a cool view. Man, we are dominating this right now. Just look where their team is right now versus ours. They're all way back. Oh, he got two. He got two of them. Okay, all right. Well, he did okay. So that's, I mean, that sums up the Panther right there, honestly. I mean, that's pretty much the whole deal with this F model, especially. Holy cow, am I going to be able to get another one of these guys? Oh, that's not a 38, never mind. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to go under those power lines for a second. That would have been pretty cool to be able to pull that off. Anyway, it would have been totally an accident, but it would have been cool either way. Alright, let's see here. I think we're done. This game's over. So that basically sums up the Panther. You see, I mean, this thing, we know what it is. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen it enough. It's super capable. It's pretty fast. It can do a lot of good stuff. It's got a great gun. So this version was going to be the most dangerous version, and luckily it never really got made. I don't know how much of a difference it would have made in the field to have its turret completely different from the way it was, but I mean, they wanted it really bad. This was a major goal of theirs. 6 kills, 2 assists. All right. So I think their thinking was that this thing was going to make a pretty significant difference in what this thing could do out in the field. So it's probably a good thing that it didn't get made in any really large numbers, because it might have changed the outcome of things. Maybe. I mean, that might be a stretch, but I mean, this was going to be a major advancement. So that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck. Have fun. See you in the next one.